All right, welcome to the City of Knoxville Board of Zoning Appeals. I'm Amy Sherrill. I'm the chair of the BZA, and I'll be conducting today's meeting. Alongside me are the other members of the BZA, and at the table across the room are the city staff members. Today's meeting will be conducted in the order of the agenda. Agendas are available at the table near the entrance. Pursuant to the BZA's administrative rules, each matter on the agenda will be considered in the following order. Staff comments. Proponents, opponents, rebuttals, discussion among board members, motion, second, discussion among board members, and a vote. Members of the public may address the board and the following rules apply. Each person may speak once for 5 minutes and shall not have more than one time to speak, except that the chair may allow 2 minutes to the applicant for a rebuttal. When more than one person wants to speak to an issue, each side is limited to 3 speakers with 5 minutes each. The board may ask questions of any speaker and may allow more time or more speakers by a vote. Speakers should limit their remarks to the facts of the case and should avoid repeating comments that have been previously presented to the board. All speakers should come to the podium, speak directly into the microphone. Speakers will need to state their name and address for the record. Appeals of decisions by the BZA are made to the Knoxville City Council. A petition for such an appeal shall be filed with the Plans Review and Building Inspections Department not more than 15 days from the BZA decision. Can we now call roll?
Amy Sherrill.
Here.
Brad Salisbury.
Here.
Daniel Odell.
Here.
Luis Urea.
Here.
Very good. Our first order of business is the minutes from the March 17th meeting.
Motion to approve. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye. Aye.
All right. And then looks like we have a staff report.
So we're doing this promotion at all the public meetings, so bear with me. The City of Knoxville is embarking on a planning process to update its comprehensive plan for the next 25 years. This process has been named What's Next Knoxville because we're posing that question to our community so we can distill that input and energy into a plan for our collective future. A comprehensive plan is a long-term guide that expresses the values, aspirations, the needs, and unique conditions of a community. It establishes an integrated vision for future development and infrastructure investment, and it addresses many related topics that impact the city's quality of life today and in the future. A comprehensive plan is a policy document that guides decisions on future land use, transportation, and capital improvements for the next 25 years. So to kick off What's Next Knoxville, we're hosting 7 listening sessions across the city to better understand residents' vision for the future of Knoxville. These outreach events are occurring April 26th through April 30th. There will be conversations, games, and treats and snacks for kids, adults, and families. These listening sessions will not only be an opportunity to provide input, but we'll be seeking will not be the only opportunity to provide input. We'll be seeking feedback throughout the year, and we have a website, what'snextknoxville.com, where you can learn more about upcoming events and provide feedback. So we hope you'll attend and spread the word on these listening sessions happening next week. This is a special opportunity to steer the city's path in a meaningful way, and I'll share some flyers as I exit. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, the next is old business, and we have BZA 260005. Is our applicant with us? Very good. 1 second. We're going to have staff comments, and then we'll ask you all to introduce yourselves.
So before we get started, I just want to make a note that there is some opposition that is on the way, except they're not here currently, but they are on the way. We asked if they wanted to submit their comments for us to read out aloud, but we have not received those comments yet, but they are on the way. So if you want to postpone it, you can, or if you want to proceed, we can proceed.
So the opposition is Joyce Feld. She's currently stuck in traffic. She did attempt to send us her comments to read, but the document didn't come through in the attachment. But as far as we know, she is on her way. So.
Okay.
Is there any prejudice to the applicant in moving and postponing this matter till the end? Written into
No, sir. No, sir. Certainly willing to postpone if we need to.
I didn't understand that.
Is there any reason why we can't postpone under the rules?
You can move it to the end of the agenda or to a later spot in the
Do we
agenda.
need
Yeah,
to move
absolutely.
both?
Yes.
Did she have comments on both? Okay.
All right, we'll just assume
Okay.
so. Okay.
Okay.
I'm going to make a motion to postpone BZA-26-0005 and BZA-26-0023 to the end of the agenda for today.
Second.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, so those will be heard, they're just going to be moved back. Okay, so that moves us to new business and BZA 260024. Is our applicant with us? This is Oklahoma Avenue. Okay, very good. So as you make your way up, we'll have staff comments on that item.
Yes, the applicant is requesting 2 variances related to a proposed expansion of a reception facility use in a CG2 zoning district. The first request is to decrease the minimum required off-street parking spaces for a reception facility in a CG2 zoning district from 76 spaces to 58 spaces. The second request is to decrease the minimum required bicycle parking spaces for a reception facility in the CG2 zoning district from 8 to 0. The property is currently developed with 2 separate buildings. One building is occupied by a nightclub, and the other contains a reception facility and an adjacent vacant tenant space. The applicant has submitted permits to expand the reception facility use into the vacant space. This expansion increases the gross floor area and therefore requires a recalculation of the required off-street parking and bicycle parking spaces. During recode, the property was rezoned from C2 to CG2. Under the former C2 zoning district, off-street parking was not required. The applicant notes that the businesses have operated for several years without the need for bicycle parking.
Thank you. Will you state your name and address for the record? Oh, hold on. Will you push the button that has a little man? Thank you.
Daniel Shue, 111 East Anderson Avenue.
Thank you. And then will you state your request and your hardship?
Sure. Yeah, we had rezoned this property back in 2018 to C2 to avoid these problems. And then during the recode, it was changed and downzoned. And so that's created this problem because we had already gone through this developing the primary event space.
Will you, Mark, will you restate again what is it that triggered the need for this if it's an existing?
So it was an existing multi-tenant space. However, because there was a vacant space that the applicant is pursuing permits to move the reception facility into to occupy more gross floor area, there's a recalculation of parking. And that is what's triggered the need for the variance.
Okay, so it's not an expansion, it's expansion of the space in an existing building.
It's just adding gross floor area.
Okay.
So we were in the process of turning that into a restaurant during the period that I went and had it rezoned, which was the purpose for doing it, was for the whole property, right? So the space has not been added on, it's been existing.
Okay. Have you reached out? I mean, it looks to me, just in looking at the aerial, that it doesn't look as though you have the opportunity to add more parking to your lot. Have you made attempts to secure a shared parking agreement somewhere in the neighborhood?
Well, we've been operating the space now for 5 years, and we don't have the need for it. There's plenty of on-street parking around there. And quite honestly, a lot of people arrive to these events in Uber these days. And never on bicycle.
Any other thoughts or questions from?
I'm struggling to quantify what the hardship would be. I'm not saying there isn't one, I'm just struggling to describe it. It's not like a pre-existing lot of record. I mean, it is a pre-existing lot, but
Well, I don't think they're not adding any buildings. They're increasing the gross
They're expanding one tenant,
Yeah,
Right.
which I think
the-
is reclassifying the way it's looked at.
it is, and the parking, I don't necessarily have an issue with. I think you could probably find 8 bike spots just because that's what the code says to do, and we do that all the time.
And
So I
actually-
don't know if there's a hardship there, but there's no room to put any other vehicle parking.
Yeah. No, and having, my office is up the street from here, so I can understand and have looked for parking myself, so I understand the shared parking limitations.
Yeah, I think the biggest problem we have is that the buildings directly to the south have no parking at all. And they've got maybe 7 or 8 spaces. So that's the biggest problem that we have. Quite frankly, they were taking up my parking, and so I fenced off my parking. So, because they were using it all. So I think that's kind of the bigger thing, is that things have been approved in the past like that, where I have adequate parking for what I need.
Yeah, I think like the two of you, the car parking is one thing I can understand. The bike parking, there are a lot of people who bike in the neighborhood, and understanding they may not be coming to the majority of the events, but it is a very walking, biking friendly location, so.
What's the hardship for not doing the bike?
We just don't need it. I mean, I can spend $2,000 on a bike rack, and then I can put it in there and then take out the limited parking that I have, because it's got to go where the parking lot is, and then it will never be used. So there is on-street city bike parking too, on Central. So
Who is it that approves the location for the bike parking? Is it Josh? That's engineering, right? Have you all talked about where that would go? Is it on here and where is it?
We have not discussed that with this iteration. I don't remember when you came through 5 years ago, bike parking, I don't know if that was required at that point.
it was.
It was.
Yeah.
But it was because it was in downtown.
Because it was C2. So I went and
It
actually.
wasn't required then either. So we didn't have to talk about it back then, and so.
Right.
Well, I guess what I'm thinking is does it cost him any parking? Where does it go on the lot? And does it cost him any vehicle parking to do that? Or can he put bicycle parking someplace that would be acceptable to engineering?
I haven't looked at those kind of details for this site. It appears that there is some open space where it could go, but that's not taken into account any plans Mr. Shu would have as far as future patio or use of that area or not.
So the only real place it can go is in that front parking lot, right? Which is where we pretty much reserve that for people that are disabled. And, we do have a lot of people that arrive to these events who are elderly. So we reserve that upper lot, which is at floor level, for those people. So we take out one of those spots up there. So.
Yeah, in order to meet there's standards about the mounting distances on those things too, right? If you were to put 4 together, the sort of pad that creates is quite large. When
Right,
you talk
it's-
about that many spots.
You're usually looking at a spot about 6 by 10 feet for 2 bicycle racks.
Yeah, and there appears to be again, I understand it's not desired, but even with the patio expansion, there looks to be a little area, and maybe those are grease traps, or next to it's kind of a leftover kind of piece. That one's a hard one that I know in other circumstances, you can trade a parking space for them, but I know that obviously if you're reducing your parking, the last thing you want to do is lose one more.
I'm sorry.
And the code allows you to put the bike parking in a parking space, but I know that obviously you're here talking about reducing that. You don't want to lose another parking space, so I understand that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No.
that's it. Especially since those are what really, the elderly people use that upper lot, so. The other parking lot is down, you have to walk uphill and around, it's down at the lower level.
So Josh,
Yes.
are they going to be required to put terminal islands in at the end as well?
It's all existing, so we wouldn't make them
Okay.
change that.
Where are the city-provided bike parking? What's the relative location?
It's on the, on Central, I'd say there's one maybe 100 feet away, like in front of, I think it's a cinema there, maybe.
Right, yeah, in front of the Pirate Bar,
Yeah.
there.
So there's 2 racks on, I guess, that block, yeah.
On that block?
Mm-hmm. It's past the alley, so, but still that general block.
Would that little grass area up, just plan north on of the grease interceptors be an acceptable area for bike parking racks to go?
From an engineering standpoint, yes.
Yeah, that's a hill.
was thinking too.
Well, my other question is do we have to, I mean, if there's other bike parking on that, do we have to go with 8? I mean, the variance request is 0. Could we approve a lesser variance and maybe do 4?
So I was gonna say the 2 racks would be equivalent to 4, so you'd have 4 public ones and then 4 private ones. That would be.
That's kind of what I'm thinking. And it also, I mean, there's an area there, but I'm not sure exactly how big it is. It looks like it's with landscaping and everything. I'll make a motion that we approve item number 1 on the basis of it being an existing building that rezoning is creating this hardship for, which was previously approved by the city on item number 1. On item number 2, that we go from 8 to 4.
The hardship.
The hardship being it's a tight lot no matter how you look at it, and it's existingly designed tight. And I think, in my mind, the precedent for maintaining parking spaces is a good one over there.
I'll second that.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Okay, seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed?
Aye.
Very good. So do you understand what we approved?
Got it,
Okay.
yeah. All right, thanks, Jess.
Thank you.
Have a great afternoon.
Okay. Nobody? Okay, next on the agenda is BZA 260025. Is our applicant with us? Is that you? Okay, very good. As you're making your way forward, we'll have staff comments.
Yes, the applicant is requesting one variance related to a proposed detached garage in an R1 zoning district. The request is to decrease the minimum required corner side setback for a detached garage in an R1 zoning district from 15 feet to 10 feet. The proposed garage addition will be located within the corner side yard, approximately 10 feet from Taliluna Avenue. The garage will be connected to the principal structure by a roof. However, because the connection is not enclosed in condition, the garage is classified as a detached accessory structure under the zoning ordinance. Engineering staff will be available during the meeting to address any safety or functionality considerations related to the proposed design.
Thank you. Will you state your name and address for the record?
Sure. It's Kim Firkins and 1503 Southgate Road.
Perfect, thank you. And will you describe your request and your hardship?
I'm sorry.
Your request and your hardship.
Gotcha. Okay, so our request is to provide a detached single-car garage addition in order to keep the garage adjacent to the home, behind the front facade, and in cohesion with the existing structure's orientation and proportions. The garage will sit over the required corner side yard setback. This is a irregular lot in shape, and if the property lines were perpendicular to the primary street, there would be no corner side yard setback issues.
Thank you. All right, is there anyone else here to speak in favor or opposition to this? Okay, very good. We will open to comments from the board.
Ma'am, does the home have a garage existing currently?
I don't believe no. It's an existing shed in the back. It's not used as a garage.
Okay.
Is there a particular reason that the garage couldn't be moved? All we see is kind of a blank lot. Is there a reason it can't move to be within? Is there a way to avoid needing the variance?
Sure. So if we move it forward, that's interfering with the front facade and the architecture of the home. It's also blocking 2 existing windows into the kitchen and living room on that side of the home if we bring it forward.
And if you bring it back and, I don't know if there's a way to make it deeper in the lot.
Sure. So if we bring it back, I believe we would still have issues with the setback.
I mean, yeah, if you just moved it in one direction, but I'm just wondering why it couldn't be further back on the site. Is there a topography or other issue that's keeping you from being able to?
The main issues we were experiencing when placing the garage behind the home was the difficulty of turning out a car as you back out of the garage. You don't have enough room between the existing home and where the garage would be placed in order to look cohesive with the rest of the house. So that was an option we didn't feel like was valid from an architectural standpoint and maintaining the neighborhood standards.
So looking at one of the drawings that's in this package, the entire driveway used to be behind the house. And now the driveway is being moved forward and the garage is being
Yes, that's correct.
Correct.
Is that on the rear elevation of the house, is that a covered porch that's in the corner there? Or what is that up next to the garage? It's kind of cast in shadow on this rear elevation.
That's an existing covered walkway.
It's a covered walkway?
We're just kind of showing extending into that garage.
So the garage is attached to the roof line, but not actually, okay.
Correct.
Yes.
So you're saying, if I understand, and I'm sorry, sir, I forgot your name.
Yes, my name is Thomas Miller.
Thomas, you're saying that if you move that garage back around, you're concerned about being able to get in and out of the front, the new driveway?
Yes, yeah. One of our standards we like to maintain is a minimum of 35 feet between garage door and any other structures in order to allow a car to be able to back out and turn around.
I mean, in my mind, is there another way to do it? And possibly so, but I architecturally think I understand why they've designed it to be where it is as well, from the overall look on the elevation. But I'm not an architect, so I just pretend to be one. Not you, her.
Trying to start a fight.
Those are fighting words.
Didn't mean to offend you, Brad.
I think the hardest part for me here is the hardship of, there appears to be space. I certainly appreciate it's not a zero request, but I understand why you wouldn't want to move it forward. I just think that, especially because there's an existing driveway behind it, there's room to adjust to the rear.
Are you not blocking part of that rear elevation by doing that? I mean, there's windows out to that walkway. Why doesn't it make sense to put it where they have put it based on just the existing architecture?
I'm sure, I don't have an issue with, I can make sense of why it's there. I'm talking, our charge is to respond to hardship.
But, I mean, the house is existing, right? It's.
Yes.
Okay. And that corner is existing. Those windows are existing. That walkway, that roof line is existing.
Yes, sir.
So why in my mind, are you blocking that perspective as well if you move that garage around back?
Are you referring to moving it?
The explanation of why not to move it forward was you're blocking some windows that go into areas of the house that you want natural light, and that's an existing condition. This is an existing condition. If you move that garage around, why isn't that the same argument that you're also blocking those windows? There's a covered walkway there, but you don't get the benefit of the window. You're looking straight at the garage if you move it around back. Because to move it, you're not just moving it straight back, you're moving it at an angle, right, to keep it inside of the setback.
Are you referring to,
Like if that were to turn.
That garage is in your setback. In order to move, where does that garage go if you move it back being towards the existing driveway right now? Where does it go if you move it back and you move it within the setback line?
If you move that back on
Yeah.
an angle.
so the main issue with that is we would have to enter the garage from what is now essentially the backside. There's some grade issues we'd still have to adjust the existing driveway, and the backyard would be taken up by more driveway in order to provide a turnout.
Why can't you put the new driveway where you're going to and then move that garage back and up?
You're saying keep the garage door where it is?
Well,
move it
it's
back
not going to be
and up?
exactly where it is. The driveway will then take on an angle
Hmm.
to follow the setback, but you're just moving that garage.
If the structure were, you're saying that if the structure were to rotate, the garage structure?
No, I'm just saying move it back and up, back over and up towards the house so that it sits within the setback. Why can't you do that? Maybe you do change the angle of it so that the angle of it matches the angle of the setback, sure.
I think just compositionally, overall, architecturally, the facade, once we start angling, it's not really keeping in what we see
With the
in
character of the
Sequoia Hills.
house, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the main issue I see as we try and move the garage into the backyard is just going to continue to be access issues for getting the car in and out. But I understand what you're saying.
I think the issue we're running into is that we have to approve a variance request based on a hardship, and unfortunately, I don't see one, and I don't want to speak for the rest of the board members, but I'm having trouble seeing an exact hardship. It is kind of an irregularly sized or shaped lot, but as several board members have already said, there is space to the side of the home. And I think that's what we're struggling with.
My hardship example, I'm for this variance, and the reason why is that I'm for granting this variance because it is an irregularly shaped lot. It's in that, with that angle being cut the way it is, and if you move the house around the back at all, you're also cutting off architectural, something architecturally is getting impeded. You're either going to angle that garage in order to make it fit, and you'll have a funny shaped driveway from the front, which is not the easiest to back out of and turn, get into and so forth. Or you're going to move it around, and you're going to try to match the same angle. But when you do that, you're impeding architectural benefit of the existing home by being able to use those windows as they look out to what will become, I guess, the backyard, because we're moving the driveway, but where that driveway currently exists. So I don't have a problem with this because it is a funny shaped lot, and I think that is directly related to the setback issue as where you would want to place this garage, and they have no choice but to work with the existing house, the existing structure that's there.
Yes, and I would like to have one clarification that the existing front of the home is plan left and the existing rear of the home is plan right.
So the driveway, they've been coming in through the back of the house, basically.
Correct.
Yes, the existing driveway is coming in the back of the house.
Yeah, so they're moving the driveway closer to the front.
We want to create more frontage for this home on their address.
We were, one of the notes was that engineering was available. Were there specific things, or you were just available? Okay, great.
Just available.
Okay, great.
And another note, if we can add, is the impervious coverage. The hope is to remove all of that existing driveway as well, and it really condenses all that coverage.
Any further discussion or motion?
I'll make a motion to approve BZA 260025 on the basis of an irregularly shaped lot.
Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Okay.
I do think we're creating a hardship, though. I agree it is an irregularly shaped lot.
It's not a small lot.
It's not a small lot.
Yeah,
But it does appear to be self-imposed.
Particularly, we're relocating the driveway, and there appears to be a way to do this in a, yeah. Okay, we have a motion and a second, so we need to take a vote on that. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those
Aye.
opposed? Aye.
Aye.
All right, so we are split vote, which means we need to take another motion. So I'll make a motion to deny BZA 260025 on lack of hardship.
I'm going to second that motion.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, so when there is not consensus, then it is denied. We did both ways. Yep. Yep. Okay. So the variance has been denied, and then if you'd like to appeal that, you can speak with the staff. You've got about 15 days to appeal that to City Council. So,
Okay, thank you.
yep, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, next up is BZA 260026 is our applicant with us. All right, as you make your way up, can we have staff comments, please?
The applicant is requesting one variance related to a proposed single-family dwelling in an R2 zoning district. The request is to decrease the minimum required corner side setback in an R2 zoning district from 12 feet to 7.5 feet. The property is currently undeveloped and is a non-conforming lot of record with respect to both lot width and lot area. The applicant asserts that shifting the proposed dwelling farther from the corner side lot line would increase impervious coverage due to the additional driveway length required. The applicant should address why the proposed driveway cannot remain in its current location while only the dwelling footprint is shifted farther from the corner side lot line, thereby reducing the extent of the variance request.
Thank you. Will you start with your name and address for the record, please?
Yeah, Tristan Cooper, 2233 City View Ave.
Okay. And can you describe your request and hardship?
Yeah, so the lot itself, basically to be developed for a typical 2-3 bedroom house, or 3 and 2 rather, we basically maximized the plan that we could given the impervious surface coverage. So it's right around that typical range of a 3 and 2 bedroom. I guess the hardship, or more or less maybe the question would be, I literally built the same house down a city block over, same lot size, same depth, same width. So I don't understand why this in particular lot is having the variance issue. So I was just maybe asking clarification on that matter.
I don't think that we can necessarily speak to that. We can only deal with the address that's here. And there's a whole lot of possibilities there. So in this particular case, it sounds like you've got a corner side, and that's the part where you would be held to 12 and you need a 7.5.
Correct.
Okay. There was a comment about the driveway. What does that have to do with the variance?
The application, pull it back up. The hardship for the application was stating that the hardship in this case would be the fact that the lot can't be built on by any other sized house due to the impervious surface coverage. The requirements are met for that, but are in breach of the side setback for this particular lot. So when I was doing my research and looking over this application, I didn't understand what the impervious surface coverage had to do with the corner side, because in theory, the house could scoot over 2.5 more feet, reduce the setback to 9.5, or increase the setback to 9.5, have a 9.5 and 5, still be compliant with the 5-foot setback, but the variance request would be reduced. And so that's what my staff comment was about.
Okay. So the inside side is only 5 foot.
Correct.
Okay.
But the plan's showing 7.5 and 7.5. It's just evenly spaced on the lot.
Okay. So is there a reason that it couldn't be moved 5 feet?
There is no reason. They were required in order for me to pull the permit to go through the BZA application. So they basically said that I had to get a variance in order to build the house on the lot.
Yeah, so and that wouldn't necessarily, it wouldn't affect, it would create a lesser request. So our charge is that we're looking for a hardship, and we're looking for the least variance request. So in this case, if you were able to move it, the 2.5, you would then only be asking us for a reduction from 12 to 9, if I did math right.
I can absolutely do that. That's no problem at all.
And then that would be the minimum adjustment. Okay.
I'll make a motion that we approve BZA 260026 on the basis of narrow lot width with the revision that the decrease the minimum required side setback in RN2 zoning from 12 feet to 9 feet per Article 4.3.
I'll second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
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 All right, so that, the variance has passed, that it's reduced to 9 feet.
Understood.
Okay.
Thank you guys for your time.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, our next item on here is BZA 260027. Is our applicant with us? Are they online? No?
Does not appear that way.
Okay. I'll make a motion with the applicant not present that we postpone BZA 260027 to, what month are we in? May?
We're in
To
April.
May agenda?
Yep.
I'll second that
Second.
motion.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, very good. We're going to go back up the agenda now to item BZA 260005, and our applicant is here. So we'll have staff comments, and then we'll get started.
The applicant is requesting one variance related to a proposed detached pylon sign in the CG2 zoning district. The request is to decrease the minimum required setback for a detached sign in the CG2 zoning district from 10 feet from a street right-of-way to 6 feet from a street right-of-way. The applicant proposes to replace the existing detached pylon sign with a new detached sign in a similar location. The proposed sign meets the applicable area and height standards, however, it does not comply with required setbacks. The applicant should address whether alternative locations on the property were evaluated that would meet the setback requirements.
All right, very good. If the applicant, I think who's speaking is online, is that right?
Yes.
Okay, if you'll start with your name and address for the record.
Randy Ridge, 4332 Duval Street, Chattanooga.
Thank you, and if you will describe your request and hardship.
Yes, ma'am. We're looking to modernize this sign, essentially. The sign that exists there currently is probably a 1960s era sign. It's hard to find parts for it. It's difficult to work on. What we're proposing is a sign that is 20 feet tall. The current sign is 36 feet tall, so considerably shorter. We have evaluated the site for other potential locations, but due to the constraints of the site, there's simply not a good alternative that would allow us to meet the sign. Moving setback would require us to place the sign essentially in the parking lot, which would affect traffic flow considerably. And it would also obscure one side of the sign from whichever side of the building that we decided to place the sign on. So we feel like our request, again, is a sign that is more conforming with the current ordinance than the existing sign. And again, simply can't meet the setback due to the constraints of the site. The outside edge of the current sign is approximately 2.2 feet from the property line. Our proposed new sign would be right at 7.5 feet, the outside edge from the current property line. So again, having to ask for the setback variance just due to the lack of a suitable location on the site to place the new sign.
Thank you. Do we have anyone else here to speak in favor or opposition of this item? Okay, seeing none, we'll open for discussion. There's a page in here, I don't know what page number it is. There's a picture and it has a red circle on it.
did, she didn't.
Down, it's near the staff comments.
I believe that one was submitted on the previous meeting. I'm not sure what that depicts. It was my understanding that the new pole will be basically splitting where the current one is.
Yes.
I'm not sure what the red circle is.
Okay. I didn't know
On
if that
page
was
28 of the application.
identifying a location still in front but further back from the road, or I wasn't sure what.
Yeah, I'm not
That
sure.
was-
This application's been on the agenda a few different times, so we've tried to just keep stacking new
Yeah.
things on new things. Okay, I think that one came from Scenic Knoxville, is what I was just
Okay.
told.
Okay. She's saying no.
No.
Okay, it's in our packet.
Yeah, actually, Kevin Baker sent that a few months ago. I'm sorry.
And I'm not familiar with it either. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
First time I've seen it.
Yeah, okay. So it's in our packet, so I wanted to ask where,
Sure.
and I guess that, just brings the question, did you consider, other options of, I know you said obviously if you have to go in the parking lot and other things, but is there a particular reason that location didn't work?
Because I'm not familiar with this drawing, I can't say for a fact that meets the required setback. I can't say. I don't know anything about this drawing. Don't know what it is.
Okay, it just looks as though the green space wraps beyond the front face of the building, maybe to the side, and that would maybe allow room for it to slide back. That's all I can tell you.
Yes, ma'am. Certainly. I would still have doubts that even that spot to the outside edge of the sign would meet the required setback. And I also feel like it's a possibility that the location of the sign there would obstruct view of the building would obstruct view of the sign coming from the opposite direction.
To your knowledge, is that the picture that was just up, is it an accurate picture of that location though?
Accurate location of a proposed setback?
No, is that the location that we're talking about, to your knowledge? Is that a picture of the location we're talking about?
As a proposed location for the sign?
Yes.
I honestly have no idea what this drawing represents, frankly, because I've never seen it before.
Yeah, the applicant's proposal is showing it replacing where the sign is currently. Someone else submitted this picture asking if it was, I think it's what it appears, is it suggesting that going from.
That's a possibility,
here to there.
sure.
No, I know. I was just asking if he can at least confirm that this is the site we're talking about, or
Okay.
if it's
That's
not
the
a
right
picture.
building?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah. But you don't know that, sir? You don't know if this is a picture of the.
Well, I can confirm that this is the 4849 North Broadway site, but as far as what the circle there delineates or suggests, I'm not sure what that.
Thank you.
I would assume that someone's proposing that as a location.
Okay, and I would.
But I could not confirm that location would meet the required setback.
Right, and short of going out to measure it, I don't think I could either. But it does appear that location seems to be further into or further away from the street and sidewalk. I think we can.
Oh, certainly, I would concur. Yes, sir.
And we, if you can't meet the setback, even there, for argument's sake, it would still be lesser of a request, which we're always
more conforming
for a lesser
yes, sir.
variance possible.
Yes, sir. Certainly. Again, I would simply raise the issue of the overall effect that would have on the site. I think the inside edge of the sign would be obstructed from traffic coming in the opposite direction. And just the general look, I think that would be kind of a haphazard look. Personally, that's my opinion. Of course, I'm in the sign business and I'm advocating to erect a sign, I understand. But just the overall impact that might have on the appearance of that site, I think would be negative.
I've got a little bit of concern with the placement of the sign with respect to the location of the existing sidewalk and that pole that's right there. The utility pole. Looks like the new sign is going to sit about the bottom of it will be 5'5" off the ground, which will pretty much be pretty close to that travel path for that sidewalk. Have you had a chance to take a look at that and make sure that that's not an issue?
Well, again, yes, I have looked at it, and the new sign would be further from the sidewalk than the existing sign by about 5 feet.
According to this drawing, it's 2 feet inside the property line. And that sidewalk is probably in the right of way, right?
It's not, it's in the property line. So your sidewalk runs like that. Yeah, I can't really tell from this view.
So obviously, our request here is a setback. If for some reason the design is determined to be an impedance of the public sidewalk, that's caught somewhere else in the review process? We don't have anything to verify that on this, and I don't know that it's in our purview to verify that, other than it's obviously prudent, but
It would be looked at during plans review. I can look while we're still debating and see if there was any comments about the height of the sign impeding any kind of traffic along the sidewalk while you deliberate.
Sure, and we're aware of the fact that a variance would be one step, then getting a permit issued for the sign would be a second step. So we realize that even if we're granted the variance today, it doesn't necessarily mean the sign will be erected. It still has to make it through the permitting process.
also look at I guess is it 5 feet?
Yeah.
This place has a lot of parking. Seems actually like it could.
Madam Chair, there is only one unresolved comment currently on this plans review, and it's about the setback. However, during inspections, obviously, we would review it and make sure it was compliant with all building code, engineering requirements, and zoning requirements.
Doesn't knock out a pedestrian.
Correct.
Okay, great. A bicyclist driving on sidewalk illegally. Okay, any other questions, comments, a motion?
I'm going to make, if there are no other comments, I'm going to make a motion to deny BZA-26-0005 based on a lack of hardship, and also potentially this is not the minimum required or the minimum variance request that could satisfy what the applicant is looking for.
Okay. We have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second, and any further discussion?
Can I make any comment, or is it too late?
Sure.
Just again, two things I would like to again reiterate. Current sign is 36 feet tall. Proposed sign is 20 feet tall. Current sign sits approximately 2.2 feet off the property line. Proposed sign would sit 7.5 feet roughly off the property line. So I feel like if safety is a concern, our proposed new sign is a safer sign than the currently existing sign.
All right. Thank you for that. I think
Thank you.
for me, I'm processing information, and I go back to what we said earlier in the meeting is, we're looking for hardships. We're looking for the least variance required. There's a couple of markers there, and we're trying to process a lot of information.
Sure. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Go ahead.
Well, and I think for me, although I'm not crazy about the height of that reader board, I do think it poses a potential problem, but if engineering's looked at it and they don't have an issue with it, then I'm not going to stand in the way of what Josh has looked at. He centered it on those two existing pylons and decreased it. It's narrower. And so it's lesser of a sign than what's there now. And I get it. Is it the absolute minimum? I don't know, but it is better than it is now.
I know that's the trick, isn't it? To know what the charge is here.
Yeah, it would be nice to have
I agree
the
if that's
proposed
true.
over the top of the existing, just to see, so we could visually have a representation of this is what's here and this is what we're doing.
I'm not sure that by moving it over to where that circle that is actually improving anything from the overall.
I think the only thing there is that would that and across the way on plan north side of this image, those two have deeper islands that would just offer you an opportunity to potentially be requesting less of a variance. I'm sure there's 100 reasons why. Obviously, it's the desire to have it where they're asking for it to be. There's rooted in information of why they desire that. I think to Luis's point is this the least variance? I don't know. It's hard to see with the data we've been provided.
And you articulated it a lot better than I did, or than I failed to do. But yeah, that is my point. And of course, I understand, sir, business decisions and potentially blocking the sign, but from one angle or another. But that, unfortunately, is not a consideration, in my opinion, before the board. But
All right, any further discussion? Are we ready for a vote?
I think so.
All right, sounds like we're ready for a vote. Again, the motion is to deny. So all those in favor?
aye.
Aye. All those opposed?
Opposed.
Opposed?
All right, we have a split vote, so motion has failed, and we need a new motion.
I'll make a motion that we approve variance request BZA 26005 as written, with a hardship of existing conditions, lot size, and building location against the property line.
I'll second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Aye.
Aye.
All right, so the motion has failed, and the opportunity to appeal that to City Council, you can speak with city staff anytime within the next 15 days. Next item here is BZA 260024. 23, thank you, for 4200 Chapman Highway. This is the same applicant? Okay,
Yes.
very good. I'll have staff comments.
The applicant is requesting one variance related to proposed attached signage for an eating and drinking establishment in the CG2 zoning district. The request is to increase the maximum allowed sign area for attached signage in a CG2 zoning district from 121.33 square feet to 177.08 square feet. Per Article 13.9, properties zoned CG2 are permitted a maximum sign area equal to 10% of the wall area of the primary building elevation. Based on the plans review for permit IBC-new-25-0639, the primary elevation was interpreted as the eastern elevation facing the parking lot. Using the building elevation submitted by the architect, the wall area was calculated as 121.33 square feet. This interpretation explains the minor discrepancy between the elevation calculations submitted by the sign contractor and those calculated by the zoning reviewer. The applicant is requesting to increase the maximum allowable sign area by 55.75 square feet, representing a 45.9% increase. The applicant should address how their stated hardship meets the standards for variance outlined in Article 16.3.e.
Thank you. Will you state your name and address for the record?
Amy Shelby, 3315 Riverside Drive, Knoxville.
Thank you. And will you describe your request and hardship, please?
Dutch Bros is just simply wanting to keep its building looking the same as all their current locations, with the additional windmill on the side and the snap frames. It's more of a, I guess, staying uniformed with their other locations as far as hardship. They're also suggesting that not being able to see the signage from certain angles would deter customers from actually pulling into that location, not knowing that it's actually Dutch Bros.
Okay. Is there anyone else here to speak in favor or opposition? All right, very good. We have someone here to speak. If you'll step aside for a moment, and we'll let you have a...
My name is Joyce Feld, and I live at 1540 Aguila Avenue, Knoxville, Tennessee, 37919, and I'm here today as president of Scenic Knoxville. The applicant would like to use standard corporate brand elements to, quote, achieve full brand representation consistent with other Dutch Brothers locations, close quote. However, I would like to remind the board that the City of Knoxville's legislative body, City Council, is the sole authority empowered to set sign standards for our city, and it's not Dutch Brothers corporate headquarters, which are located in another city in another state. In this situation, our city council has determined that 121.33 square feet is the maximum square footage allowed for an attached sign. To be granted a variance, an applicant must have a legal hardship as defined by our ordinance. The applicant in this case has not claimed a legal hardship. The lot is not exceptionally irregular, narrow, shallow, or steep. The lot does not have any other exceptional physical conditions. Strict application of the ordinance would not result in practical difficulty or unnecessary hardship, which would deprive the owner of reasonable use of the property. The applicant will not be prevented from using this property as the zoning ordinance intended, and mere loss in value shall not justify a variance. There must be an actual deprivation of beneficial use of land. There are no sightline limitations for this property. In fact, visibility is excellent. The road is perfectly flat, and traffic along Chapman Highway, does not move at a very rapid speed. There are a lot of red lights, traffic lights along Chapman Highway, and people are moving and making frequent stops. So this smaller windmill will be especially because it's at the top of the building, it will be perfectly visible from Chapman Highway for motorists passing by. And Scenic Knoxville asks that you deny this variance request. Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have any others speaking in favor or opposition? Would you like a moment? No, okay.
What? There was, we did receive one email in opposition. I'll go ahead and read it. It says, "Board members, this request for a variance is more of a want to than a have to. I see no evidence of legal hardship. Please vote to deny." I'll keep it anonymous.
Okay. Okay. Open for discussion? Because, for me, I do struggle, there is no hardship here. Unfortunately, in my mind, I think we've encountered this with many other brands of fast food and other that are looking for things to increase that. And I feel the need to be consistent in my own feeling on that in particular.
I likewise fail to see a hardship.
Any other discussion?
I'll just add more specifically, there's no geographical imposition to a sight line, which is what I would look for in the situation, and that doesn't exist here.
Okay. I'm going to make a motion to deny BZA 260023 for lack of hardship.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Okay. That motion, or that variance has been denied. Thank you. All right. So in other business, the BZA meeting, next meeting will be held May 19th at 4 p.m. in the small assembly room next door. And the meeting is adjourned.